Sri Lanka is pressing ahead with its economic recovery after a devastating cyclone struck just as the country was beginning to stabilise from a historic financial crisis. The government says reconstruction spending and renewed foreign investment could help sustain growth above 5% next year, defying IMF projections. With billions of dollars in damage to homes and infrastructure, officials are relying on international aid, budget reallocations, and major investment projects to rebuild and to turn disaster recovery into a driver of long-term economic growth. Take a look.
Sri Lanka, an Indian Ocean island nation of 22 million people, is emerging from one of the most severe economic crises in its history. After defaulting on its debt in 2022 and grappling with shortages of fuel, food and foreign exchange, the country has been slowly stabilizing under an International Monetary Fund bailout program backed by support from global lenders and foreign governments. That fragile recovery is now being shaped by a fresh challenge. In late November, Cyclone Ditwa tore through large parts of the country, killing hundreds of people and affecting about 10% of the population. Homes, roads, railways, farms and tea estates were badly damaged, with reconstruction costs estimated at up to $7 billion. Despite the destruction, Sri Lanka's government says rebuilding efforts could help drive economic growth. Officials expect the economy to expand by more than 5% next year, matching this year's pace and significantly exceeding IMF projections.
Our task is to do the right thing at this moment, bring more and more investment, so maintain this economic trajectory. So as I just highlighted, the 5% growth and will gradually increase by aiming medium term growth more than 7%. So this is the target line. With regard to Sinopec, almost that is finalized. So we hope we would be able to sign this agreement and commence this project either at end of this month or maybe early next year, 2026. In addition, like the reconstruction, restoration of the infrastructure, railway, transportation and other basic infrastructure in the education, health and all those things will also add to the economic growth. Though they are not strategic investment, they are the needy investment at this particular point in time.
Sri Lanka has already secured fresh emergency support to cope up with its worst natural disaster since the 2004 tsunami. The Asian Development Bank has committed $200 million, while the World Bank has pledged $120 million. The IMF is also expected to approve an additional $200 million in emergency funding. To finance rebuilding, the government plans to divert funds from other sectors, tap treasury reserves, and use donor assistance to restore housing, infrastructure, and livelihoods, particularly in agriculture.
500 billion, so that would be a rough estimate that is more than enough to carry out the basic things, execute the basic things, the reconstruction of housing, the roads and infrastructure facilities, and provide certain benefits for those who lost their livelihood, especially agriculture, the farming and all those things.
As Sri Lanka balances disaster recovery with economic reform, the government hopes reconstruction spending and fresh investment will do more than repair the damage left by Cyclone Ditwa. Officials say it could also help reinforce confidence and place the country on a stronger, more sustainable growth path. Looking ahead, Sri Lanka's future will hinge on its ability to maintain reforms while rebuilding from repeated economic and climate shocks. How effectively it manages reconstruction, controls debt, and supports growth will determine whether the country can transform a fragile recovery into a more stable and resilient economy for its people.